What is up to all my lovers out there? Oh my goodness, y'all, I'm so excited. So you know how last week I talked about how the Bible calls same-sex couples eunuchs, right? So today, we are going to go more in depth about that so we can get a full understanding of why the Bible calls them eunuchs. All right, let's go. Eunuchs, y'all, my LGBTQIA sexual minorities, y'all. The Bible didn't leave y'all out, didn't leave nobody out. Jesus himself made this group known and said, he who is able to accept it, let him accept it. And that's why the LGBTQ plus community is all about love and acceptance when it comes to who they are as an individual and when it comes to their sexuality and whom they love. So you guys, the biblical definition of eunuchs are those who will not marry, right? And so remember, marriage in the Bible means two becoming one, and only a man and a woman can become one flesh. So when Jesus in that 19th chapter of Matthew verse 12 speak of those who will not marry and he calls them eunuchs, he was talking about those who would not become one flesh. So eunuchs are people who will not marry in the way of becoming one flesh. We have eunuchs that were born physically unable to partake in the act of becoming one flesh. And we have eunuchs that in the past days, hopefully still in the past days, that were castrated for work to the royalty, and that yielded them unable to have to partake in the act of becoming one flesh. Then we have eunuchs that are physically able to become one flesh, but they were not joined together in love with someone of the opposite sex. And Matthew chapter 19 verse 6 says, whosoever God joins together, let no man separate. But let's go a step farther, because the Bible says that God is love, and say whosoever love joins together, let no man separate. At no point in time did Jesus in this verse 12 of Matthew 19, say that eunuchs are people who would not have intimate love. Who would not be loved intimately. No, Jesus makes it clear that eunuchs are people who would not partake in the act of becoming one flesh, either because they were not physically able to, or they can't because of whom they love. Their sexual anatomy is the same, so they can't become one flesh. Sexual pleasure is never frowned upon in the Bible. It's actually not even spoken of. And so therefore, and I'm going to use myself for this example, who I allow to touch me in a sexually intimate way is my business. It was never the church's business, the world's business. It's no one's business but mine. And so if I allow someone that I love to touch me in a sexually intimate way, it is between me, that person, and God. Okay, having an orgasm is not a sin. The Bible never leads me to understand that it is a sin to have an orgasm. Therefore, if two people of the same sex want to come together and have sexual pleasure, sexual intimacy together, it is none of our business how that goes about. Okay, it is between them and God. You guys, we have to come to a point where we can acknowledge that same-sex couples are not sinning against God with their form of sexual intimacy, because they are not having sexual intercourse. They are only having an orgasm or orgasms. God condemns two men for having their form of sexual intercourse through the anus. Okay, and so it is up to the two men to obey the Lord, and that's between them two and God. It is not on us. And as for two women cannot, they are not having a sexual sexual intercourse, even with the use of an object for penetration. That is not sexual intercourse because they're not becoming one flesh. And so it is not condemned. That object is neither natural nor unnatural because it is not real, really. And so they're just using it for penetration. But the two women are not having sexual intercourse. They're not becoming one flesh. But some of you might ask me, Alicia, what is the point of same-sex unions? They can't procreate. Well, I encourage you to go and ask that to a heterosexual couple that cannot procreate. And I guarantee you, when you ask them that question, they will be highly offended. And they will look at you like you crazy as they answer your question and tell you about the love that the two of them share. And that how they have to, though they have to deal with the heartbreaking understanding that they can't bear a child, they still are strong and still united in their love for one another. Two people are not brought together just for procreation. They are brought together in love, true love. They are brought together in true love. It is not always a guarantee that a heterosexual couple that comes together will have a child, will be able to procreate. And for the homosexual couple, it is not an option. So the two of these people, the two couples, the two pairs will have to deal with this in their own way, will have to deal with this heartbreaking understanding in their own way. But love will always be there and will always be strong if the two are united in true unconditional love. I want to share with you all my thoughts on why I believe same-sex couples are here. I believe same-sex couples are here to remind us about our spiritual body, our true being of who we are. I believe that they are here to help us understand that this physical world that we see will soon be no more. I believe that same-sex couples are here to remind us that love is a spiritual experience that will last for all of eternity. And I encourage the LGBTQIA community to continue to love and to continue to show the world all the beautiful colors of love.